एक वचन तुम्हाला निश्चितपणे देतो, काहीही झालं तरी या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये औरंगजेबाच्या कबरीचं महिमा मंडन होऊ देणार नाही, त्याचं उदात्तीकरण होऊ देणार नाही.
हमेशा के लिए इस राज्य को अस्थिर करके रखना, इसी बात यहाँ पे दिखती है.
सदा कदा धर्माचा आधार हा औरंगजेब घ्यायचा. औरंगजेब कधी हजला पण गेला नाही आणि हा क्रूर शासक होता. आज देवेंद्र फडणवीसही तेवढेच क्रूर आहेत.
केवल गांधी परिवार को खुश करने के लिए इस प्रकार की बेहुदा बयानबाजी.
It probably comes from people who in Maharashtra still don't know the difference between Aurangzeb and between Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj.
Let's open this up. CSJ spokesperson of Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena is with us. Author Anand Ranganathan continues to be with us. We'll be getting a representative from Shiv Sena as well. But Anand Ranganathan, let me ask you, is the state government there in a catch-22 situation? They can't be seen to be siding with what's transpiring there. They also can't be seen siding with somebody who wants to break the law and warn of a Babri-like incident.
Let me be very honest and brutal about it. Anybody who is cowardly, who doesn't want to do the right thing, will always be in a catch-22 situation. You will never, Poonam, find me in a catch-22 situation, because let me tell you, if you see this, I hope your viewers can see this.
Yes, go ahead.
This is the mazar and tombstone of Yaqub Memon. Can you believe it? It exists. The guy was a terrorist. He blew up 257 honest, innocent Mumbaikars. He was sentenced to death. And there is a mazar where people come and pay their obeisance. Now, it's a simple question to any logical person in India. Should this mazar exist? If you say yes, then I'm sorry, you're a psychopath. But if you say no, then by the same logic, you are also being logical and rational into believing that till today, there is no tombstone or a grave marked for Hitler. So much so that Germans have even removed the tombstones of Hitler's parents, lest somebody might come and pay their obeisance or celebrate them. There is no tombstone or graveyard for Adolf Eichmann. There was none for Osama bin Laden. Why do we have to pay respects and have mazars and tombstones for terrorists? Likewise, yes, I know it is a historical thing, but facts are facts. You have Aurangzeb, who was al-Baghdadi or Osama bin Laden 10 times over 350 years ago. The fact of the matter is, why are politicians and other people still going there and celebrating him, eulogizing him? That is unacceptable. That is always keeping the open wound for Hindus, whom he butchered 4.6 million of them still alive deliberately. So as far I'm concerned, yes, nobody should destroy that bazaar, but it should either be locked up or be excavated and taken somewhere where it should not be, its place should not be disclosed to the rest of people who are still psychopathic, who still want to go there and pay respects to Aurangzeb.
So there has to be a middle path that is found so that glorification of Aurangzeb, as we've seen in the recent past, by those who are elected representatives as well, should not happen. But Sushil Vyas, as far as the state government is concerned, today we had the Chief Minister come out and say that it's unfortunate that we have to protect a monument because it's ASI protected. So the state government has to give it security. There's very little that we can do. But can the state actually go ahead and ensure the delisting of this particular monument, take it off the ASI list, and then take suitable action? There is legal recourse. Why is the state government not doing that just yet?
As you said, Chief Minister made a statement, Poonamji, today only, and nobody will tolerate the glorifying of Aurangzeb, particularly in Maharashtra. And as you said, there are ways and means. Under Article 49 of the Constitution of India, we are supposed to protect the sites which are ASI, notified. Now there is a way under concern law section 35 that we have to move to the Cultural Ministry of Government of India and denotify this site, and then thereafter, of course, as Professor Ranganathan was saying, we can take the appropriate step to remove this monument from there. So that takes time. We want to do it lawfully, but one thing is sure. Nobody can glorify the Aurangzeb and to see that, particularly in Maharashtra, as what he has done, how had a harsh he was to our Chhatrapati Sambhaji and Shivaji Maharaj, we cannot tolerate anybody glorifying. Who was the person who started this? Mr. Abu Azmi is an MLA supported by Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray group, Congress, and all that. They were allies. They left that seat for him, and that's why he got elected with their support. Now, this is very unfortunate. So, if Chief Minister said very responsibly, yes, lawfully we'll take action to denotify, and what Professor Raghunathan was saying, we will take the steps how fast we can remove this storm from that Tughlakabad. So, but it has to be, see, we are in power. We are running government. So, government has to be law-abiding. So, we will go as per the law and procedure.
As per the law and procedure, you'll also have to act against VHP and Bajrang Dal and everybody else who's taking law into their own hands. If there is a threat that's being made about raising a public space to the ground, irrespective of what the sentiment is, the state government can't be seen condoning that either.
Poonamji, who has supported them? Any citizen of India and everyone has a right to express their views and their protest in the public, if so long as they are doing it peacefully. Is there anything which they have broken the law and the police has supported them? Just please tell me. I'll answer. I will not.
I don't know if burning effigies is a peaceful way of protesting, but sure, go ahead.
If anywhere Bajrang Dal and BHP people are protected or supported by police, otherwise. Protest. Everybody has a right. Every citizen of this country has a right to protest peacefully.
Anand Ranganathan, yes, you had a point to make.
I do agree with Sushil ji that everything must be done legally. Of course it must. But in the time that it takes you, Sushil ji, to get legal things done and legally sorted out, there are hundreds of temples that have been locked up for decades. In fact, till recently, the Vyas Parivar in Gyanvapi were locked up because they were not the place. They were not allowed to give prayers. So can you please, at least in the meantime, lock this place up so that people cannot go there psychopathically and actually pray towards Aurangzeb? Can you at least do that?
And it seems that the sentiment at least is on that side, because we've seen a significant dip in the footfall to this particular tombstone as well. From about 3,000 people every day, it's come down to 300. So there is a way that the state government can actually do this. But C.S. Jha, as far as the Uddhav Sena is concerned, they seem confused too. We had Samna today in their editorial come out and say that it's not right for fringe groups like the VHP and Bajrang Dal to come out and call for a Babri-like demolition, or to say that Aurangzeb's tomb should be razed to the ground. Why is this sudden love or sudden soft corner for Aurangzeb, if I may ask?
See, this is not a soft corner. We don't feel to keep anybody who has done cruel act in India to be buried in a tomb, and that tomb has to be being glorified. So we don't celebrate all those things, and eventually these things are being done by the Maharashtra government itself to divert the main issues. They want to pass certain bills. They want to enact certain laws which are against the Constitution of India. So these things have to be taken care of. So they want to diversify all these things to Aurangzeb tomb and all the things which have been done in Maharashtra. Nothing is coming up in Maharashtra for all these things, because the government which is in Maharashtra is categorically, they say that they are Hindu government, Hindutvadi government. So they should categorically remove. If they want to remove, they can categorically remove all these things from Maharashtra, throw it in the ocean. We don't care. But we want that certain bills which are being passed in the garb of this kind of situations being created in Maharashtra. So those things are to be seen.
But this situation wasn't created by the state government, sir. It was an SP MLA who's also the chief of the Samajwadi Party in Maharashtra, who came out and spoke about this first, who also happens to be your ally.
See, the thing is that the Samajwadi Party person who had spoken about the glorification, we are not in support of that. And eventually who speaks about Aurangzeb, we are not in support of anybody. So we categorically say that these things are not in consonance with our fundamentals, and we don't allow all these things. But eventually certain things are being carried on by the government, because if you see the Twitter, the Maharashtra opposition has tweeted already that with regard to a terrorist act which is being brought by the government. So those things are against the constitution. So those things are to be seen right now, and these things are not
And you
relevant
can
to us.
oppose that on the floor of the assembly or outside. As far as that particular bill or act or whatever it is that is concerned, what is that going to do with commentary that we're hearing on the sidelines and Aurangzeb? We had the Congress state chief today come out and said and liken Fadnavis to Aurangzeb, saying it's the same kind of rule that we see now.
See, the rule which is being carried on by Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, everybody knows what is happening in the state Maharashtra. And we are seeing how the things are being carried on, how the law and orders are being carried on. So everything composes an attribute to the Aurangzeb, not an Aurangzeb type of situation is being created in Maharashtra, but attributing to the Aurangzeb. So that clarification is already there.
Sushil Vyas, it's the state government that's trying to digress, divert attention from all kinds of things that should be discussed both inside and outside the assembly. This political pot boiler that we see over Aurangzeb is only boiling there because the state government in Maharashtra wants it to. That's the allegation.
Poonam ji, may I ask my friend Haji whether Abu Azmi was our ally? Whether in the 4 months back in assembly election, we supported Abu Azmi or you supported Abu Azmi. He was supported by you, UBT Sena also. And whether, who raised this issue? Abu Azmi raised this issue, glorifying Aurangzeb. He was a nice ruler. He was very, perfect way he ruled the country. Then what Aurangzeb did was not fight against religion, but fight against to enlarge his empire. What is all? Whether Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar did this? Who has done this? And if suppose somebody is doing that, we will not tolerate it. And Maharashtra person, anyone from Maharashtra will not tolerate, because we know how our Chhatrapati Sambhaji was killed by Aurangzeb in 1689. We cannot forget. No Maharashtrian can forget. So where is the question of diverting the issues? Yes, if you raise the issue in the floor of the House, as a responsible government, we will deal with it. We'll face those issues. Whether it is Ladli Bear, whether it is price rise, whether it is unemployment, you raise the issue. You are not raising the issue. You are only raising this kind of issues, then we have to counter it. We have to deal with it.
Anand Raghunathan, even as we see that fight, brew on the sidelines, the question that one also wants to ask is, where does it stop? Are we going to be seeing anything and everything eventually boil in the middle of a controversy to say shut this down and shut that down, and then there are legal cases that go on in different courts from the topmost to the bottommost? Is that how we're going to be seeing this play out from here on?
Yes, we might, because Poonam, the tragedy of this country is that everything is made political where it should not be. This is something that every person devoid of politics, or I can say party agnostic, must stand up and counter this kind of psychopathy. But nobody does, because for as much as BJP and Shiv Sena, the other faction might like to say, the fact of the matter is that for 15-20 years it was BJP that wanted Aurangabad names to be changed to Sambhajinagar, but the last decision of Uddhav Thackeray was changing that. BJP had their chief ministers, BJP was in center, but they never did it. It was actually Uddhav Thackeray. And can I say, just to finish, every cloud has a silver lining, and the silver lining out here is twofold. One is that if ever I want an ideal friend and ally, I would love to have the UBT Shiv Sena, because their ally says Aurangzeb was great, and Shiv Sena, UBT keeps quiet. Their ally says Savarkar was a coward, and their ally says keeps quiet. So, I would love to have such friends. Whatever your other allies might do or say, denigrate you, you will always say, no, I will keep friendship and be an ally.
And must be a true ally or a true friend, because it's not even for power anymore. But CS Jha, as far as the alliance is concerned, do you find yourself in a situation where all you have to do is compromise with such issues, be it the Congress, be it the Samajwadi Party, be it anybody else that you want to otherwise build an alliance with? And this just is one of those issues. Why is it that we see the UBT faction of Shiv Sena on issues that they have vehemently spoken on in the past now take one step backward? Since when did VHP and Bajrang Dal become fringe groups for the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena?
See, we have never taken any U-turn. It was only us who glorified the illegal structure at Ayodhya to be demolished. And we speak with every conviction. Every time we say and we do it. We don't publicize it and we don't take credit of any such things. So we know how to work. We are much more powerful than any right wing party, and we know how to work in the constitutional arena within the state and as well as within the country. So we don't require any lectures from the persons who have never performed, and we don't require any kind of suggestions from them. But eventually, these things keeping apart, these things don't absolve the liability of the government, which is under the position of having the chair of a CM, and they should know whether to make out a law which is constitutional or unconstitutional. These things have to be seen. Many issues which are keep rising within this assembly going on. So these things have to be seen. These don't concern the Aurangzeb or anybody else. Don't concern us. We are concerned with the people of Maharashtra.
Sure, you're concerned with the people of Maharashtra, but this is the sentiment of Maharashtra as well. But Sushil Vyas, this is the state government's moment to seize. The time is ripe to take this decision that everybody in Maharashtra, or at least your constituents, seem to be wanting. Is that something that you're ready to give and within a timeline?
See, the moment Chief Minister very responsibly, publicly making statement, so it means he's ready and he's willing to act. But being a Chief Minister, he has to act within the framework of Constitution and law of this country. We cannot just break the law and do something. And then law provides something, definitely we will do that. And what Jhaji was saying, government is not performing and government is not doing what. I just very humbly want to ask. Today is the 10th day of present session of assembly in Maharashtra. How many questions your party has raised about the issues which you are raising now today in this News18 channel? Please, this is in public domain. You know, you are a spokesperson of the party. You must know how many issues regarding what you are saying now were raised by your MLAs in assembly in present session. No, nothing. You only started all these things which are not related issues. Now that's why then we, as a party in power and responsible government, we have to deal with those issues. If you ask us something regarding some issues which you are talking about now, we will deal with
but
those
Sushil
issues.
Vyas, the issue of Aurangzeb or the statement from Mr. Fadnavis has not come today. It's been brewing for at least over a week. We've had the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Fadnavis, come out and talk about it. Well, the warning of a Babri-like event may have come yesterday and the reaction to that today. But Aurangzeb and what should be done with his tomb has been in political discourse for over 10 days now.
Poonamji, I'm sorry, that statement is not of Chief Minister, but that is one of our minister. Yes, I do agree. One of our minister in cabinet, but not by Chief Minister. So that statement of Babri-like thing that is not. And we are not saying that it can be done that way. I am saying very responsibly, something will be done within the framework of the Constitution and the law which is there in this country.
Nobody and your constituents are definitely holding you up to that you will walk the talk here, because the state government has made intent clear, but will they actually walk the talk and get it done? That's something that we'll wait for. But I'm completely out of time. I thank you all for joining us here on this edition of Plain Speak. It is a wrap from my side. Anand Narasimha.